Mm-hmm. Is that right? Is that right? Am I seeing this correctly? A lot of people were complaining. A lot of people said that the events leading up to this weren't important. Just hype. It doesn't matter. I saw massive lack of patience. Pretentious Twitter fingers everywhere. Complaints, complaints, complaints. And what ends up happening is that right now our lives just changed forever. This was the day everything changed. I have stated in previous videos that one of the biggest hurdles keeping us from mainstream crypto adoption and price appreciation is custodianship. And today, July 22nd, 2020, the OCC released that federally chartered banks may provide custody services for crypto. Welcome to the news that turned you into a multi-millionaire. Clap it up for yourself. They said crypto was a scam. They said we're stupid for doing this. They said it'll never work. They said XRP's a scam. Right now we just seen institutions given the green light to custody digital assets. We see a wave rolling in. Brad Garlinghouse giving his congratulations. This cannot be overstated. It is one of the most important developments in crypto history. Brian Brooks is the acting comptroller of the currency. And the moment this happened was the moment everything changed. Because prior to joining the OCC, Brooks served as Chief Legal Officer of Coinbase Global, where he headed the legal compliance, audit, investigations, and government relations functions for the company. This man made it happen, and I am eternally grateful for giving me my future wealth. Thank you, Brian Brooks. And all of you at home listening to this should be giving him a big thanks too. But now in the midst of all of that, we have to remember this massive Goliath known as PolySign. PolySign is waiting in the wings to bring custodianship. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what we need to see. And on the heels of this announcement today, I expect some type of announcement from PolySign in the not too distant future. This has been the coordinated rollout of digital asset and XRP adoption. It has not stopped. It's only accelerated. We've gotten the ball rolling, and life-changing wealth is going to be the next step. Ladies and gentlemen, we have seen the coordinated Twitter campaign to give a round of applause to Brian Brooks and the OCC's decision. Fidelity Digital Assets stated, "We applaud the regulators' continued focus on digital assets." Fidelity Digital Assets serves institutional customers directly and through relationships with intermediaries. We are here to help banks and other deposit-taking institutions hold digital assets as their sub-custodian. And guys, I just want to point something out to you. All these companies are ready for crypto. They are ready for the tsunami of wealth generation to be made in this space. You are not smarter than them. They have built the infrastructure, and the people in the comments section saying things are a scam and things are hype and yada yada yada. They don't matter. What matters is the trillion-dollar institutions. All I'm saying is, ladies and gentlemen, pay attention. Now, here to refer back to this document from the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency, it states national and state banks and thrifts have long provided safekeeping and custody services, including both physical objects and electronic assets. The OCC has specifically recognized the importance of digital assets and the authority for banks to provide safekeeping for such assets since 1998. In the letter published today, the OCC concludes that providing cryptocurrency custody services, including holding unique cryptographic keys associated with crypto, is a modern form of traditional bank activities related to custody services. Crypto custody may extend beyond passively holding keys. Ladies and gentlemen, we've known for a long time now that institutions have been buying XRP specifically over the counter. That is why the price of XRP has not appreciated in value, because over-the-counter purchases do not affect the public price of XRP. However, now, due to this from the OCC, this clarity, this update, this profound news, institutions can now hold clients' digital currencies. You just saw a massive wave of high-level executives and institutions thanking the OCC, and it's not a coincidence. This is one of those things you need to be hyping and telling your family and friends and loved ones about, because I'm anticipating a crypto bull run to behold. From safe deposit boxes to virtual vaults, we must ensure banks can meet the financial services needs of their customers today. Said by Brian Brooks himself, this opinion clarifies that banks can continue satisfying their customers' needs for safeguarding their most valuable assets, which today for tens of millions of Americans include cryptocurrency. The OCC also recognizes that as the financial markets are increasingly digitized, the need to increase for banks and other service providers to leverage new tech and innovative ways to serve their customer needs. By doing so, banks can continue to fulfill the financial intermediation function they have historically played in providing payment, lending, and deposit services. Today's opinion applies to national banks and federal savings associations of all sizes, and is consistent with a number of states which have already authorized state banks or trust companies to provide similar functions. Now guys, I remember a lot of you complaining about July 21st, saying nothing happened, when in reality, everything happened that we needed to see on that day. From the Federal Register, we saw a rule change. Judy Shelton passed her first round of confirmation, and we saw a digital dollar meeting. From Market Watch, we see that Fed accounts for all with automatic and recurring payments triggered by economic crisis. The next health crisis relief package must fix the flaws of the first. Problem, reaction, solution is about to be executed, and we are going to have a digital dollar very soon. We see this article from Forbes and Jason Brett that the digital one is on standby, ready to launch. And Congress is going to hear proposed digital dollar response. And if this news that broke today about custodianship is anything for all of you, it should be a reminder that things can change within a blink of an eye in the entire space of seemingly being years away from adoption. We see custodianship get turned on. We've been waiting at a stop sign for years now, and we're about to be given the green light. And finally, guys, to cap off this video for today, we see from early investor in the Internet of Value, a theory, which I believe is playing out in real time. If China backs or pegs the digital yuan to gold, the US would do the same under the guise of national security. This is the only way to get there for the United States. The Fed board and mainstream academics are largely opposed to the gold standard, and it doesn't happen without a geopolitical inciting incident. This is a massive truth that we need to understand. We saw yesterday Judy Shelton have to give up her stance on the gold standard while being confirmed by the Senate Banking Committee. But I personally believe that is theater. I personally believe that what's truly going on is that we are going back to the gold standard. Because if we see this right here, central banks are adding to their gold reserves, with 40 tons of gold in May being accumulated and 181 tons of gold being added in 2020. Ladies and gentlemen, every single domino has fallen correctly in our direction. And today was one of the most important days in XRP and crypto history. Keep your eyes on PolySign Inc. because I'm expecting an announcement within the next few weeks. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Bearable Boy here. Thanks for tuning in. As always, I appreciate every single one of you. And I'll be back tomorrow with another video.
So I think the role of the disruptors and anything that is using distributed ledger technology, whether you call it crypto assets, currencies or whatever, and it's far from the bitcoins that we used to talk about a year ago, that is clearly shaking the system.
You dropped a bombshell in the luncheon there. That's the way I was described. It's almost like a mic drop. You are exiting this job, almost like a mic drop. And you said we need to go to a global virtual currency.
I think you're quite well known for your stance on the gold standard. Would returning to gold standard help the U.S. economy? Can you talk a little about your thoughts on that?
Well, I would say I don't see it so much as returning, but more of a back to the future.
Okay.
I think that what a gold standard stands for is monetary discipline for its own sake. That is, if money is supposed to be a unit of account and a reliable measure and a dependable store of value, it really shouldn't be subject to who's the chairman of the Federal Reserve. And I think that money needs to be stable and provide the foundation for productive economic growth. And when money is just a variable that financial markets toss around, or it's part of a derivatives formula, or it's part of someone speculating on currencies, it's not serving the private sector in the sense of providing that reliable unit of account so you can make plans. And under a gold standard, you did have that stability, and I think that's what's missing. And so I like the idea of a gold standard. I mean, it could be used in a very cryptocurrency way. The point is, do you have a unified money system so that when you talk about the international marketplace, everyone is playing on a level monetary playing field?